Hi there, in today's video I'm going to show you the top things I love about my Triumph Street Twin. I'll also be comparing it to photos of old bikes and giving you a bit of a reference point as well. So let's roll the intro and get on with the video. The first thing I love about my Triumph is the Brembo front brake. It's also better braking performance than previous years, which was a needed change. The upgraded brake brings great stopping power, especially considering this is a retro bike and it's more likely for bimbling along rather than racing. It's great to see it, and of course it has ABS linked in there too. The next thing I really like is Triumph's attention to detail. Here on the spark plug cover you see the Triumph logo, again on the engine cover, again in the rear brake, on the handlebar stock, on the fuel cap, on the key, and in the headlight, as well as in the speedo and having the Bonneville tag at the top. If I've missed one, please let me know. I'll try and find it and I'll show you. There are other little details that I really like the cooling fins on the exhaust pipes. Even though these have a modern sensor in the back, this 1971 Triumph Bonneville had them, and I love that my one does too. Of course, they have modernised some elements of the bike. This is the fuel cap, for example. But if you push this top slider over, it reveals the key. What I like about this though is you don't have to lock it. So you can leave it permanently unlocked and just twist the whole cap off. Or you can turn the key a quarter of a turn. I really like this little detail. It's one of those things that comes in useful. So what about the controls of the bike? Well, they're very simple. The reason I like retro styling is because I don't feel like everything nowadays needs a computer and needs a digital screen. It's really nice to go back to basics in a way. Although this does have traction control and ABS. So I'll talk you through the controls. On the back of the left side you have your flasher. One click puts the lights up to high beam, and click again and it takes them down to low beam. Next up is the information button. This bike does have a tiny LCD screen which shows you the time, your RP, that's your total mileage, that's your mileage on trip 1, trip 2, miles per gallon, which I get about 63, your average miles per gallon, 63.8. You also get your mileage till empty, and then you're back to the clock again. That's all I need. There's a fuel gauge on the left hand side. You can see I'm on half a tank. And in terms of gear indicator, there's one at the top. Obviously the bike's in neutral now, so it's got the neutral light and the neutral indicator on the screen. On the left hand side of the speedo you have your left indicator light, your high beam light, and on the right hand side you have your right indicator light and your neutral light. That's it, that's all the controls on the speedo. Underneath your information button you have the indicators. These are push to cancel, they don't cancel automatically. And underneath that you have the horn, and then to the right of that you have the mode button. On the right hand side you have your stock smoked front brake reservoir. It's really nice to see that. The old one you look like this. Horrible. And then next to that you have your kill switch, which doubles as your starter motor switch. So clicking the top cuts the bike altogether. Leaving it in the centre as its run position, and clicking it down starts the starter motor, and then it returns back to its middle position. Underneath that you have your hazards. When you click the button, the hazards button pops out a bit more, and when you're finished with hazards you click the button. You click the button in, and it disappears a bit sleeker into the bike. You then have your electric throttle body. For the A2 restriction, you simply slide this off, get the A2 throttle, and slide that onto the handlebar. Another thing I really like about this bike is the headlight. It's very bright. It doesn't have the LED strip like the T120 does or the Speed Twin does, but again, keeping in line with the style. And of course this is slightly an entry-level bike, although it's still a 900, although it's got more horsepower than a T100, and it costs the same as the Street Triple. Brand new, this is £8,100. I got mine for £6,600 because it was ex-demo with 1,000 miles, so it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, let's get back to the headlight. This is it turned on. I'll go away now and show you a panning shot. Hopefully you get an idea of in the daylight how bright this is. And to do with colour temperatures on the iPhone, the headlight is actually a very crisp white, but of course it comes out a bit warmer. I'll try and reverse that now and give you an idea, but when you see this in person, there's none of that gold amber colour, it's more of a very light blue. Of course this bike is air and water cooled. If I show you just underneath the rear swing arm, there's the water tank. But again, it's so well hidden, I doubt you could see this if I hadn't pointed it out to you. Just on the left side of the screen, that's the filler cap, with the radiator hidden by the front wheel. It is obvious that you can see the radiator, but I don't feel like it detracts from the bike, and again it's finished in the same gloss black that the rest of the frame is, so it sort of blends in. Overall, I think the Triumph have really stuck true to their retro roots here. I've done a split screen to compare the sides, and hopefully you can see what I mean. The same can be said for the fuel tank. It's even the little details like where the fuel cap is in relation to where it used to be, and how the seat hugs the tank. Now, 2 things before I start the bike up. 1, this is my bike, and if you want to see more of it, please subscribe, as most of the videos I do are filmed on this. And 2, please sit back, I'll start the bike up, and I'll give you an idea of how it sounds. So that's about it for today's video. I hope you found it interesting, and if there's an area I've missed, please let me know and I can do a little update for you. I didn't talk about the mirrors very much. These are the stock mirrors. I absolutely love the look of them, and if they fell off or somebody stole them, I'd be straight to the shop buying an original pair again. I hate bar end mirrors, and I think these just look so stylish. So again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and if not, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.